Thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state, Friday broadcast of our programmings, and it is still part of our morning show, the one we call Morning Spice, right here on the flow of God's own state, Flow 94.9 FM. Of course, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. We look at those critical issues, we dissect them, and of course, we invite our panelists to help us with the analysis so that you can make better decisions in the nearest future. My name is Michael Oni. This morning, a lot has been said about 2023 election. What kind of president, or what type of president does Nigeria needs in 2023? It is still far away, but the big question here, the topic of discussion this morning is 2023 presidency between quota system and zoning. One will be asking, why are you guys discussing this in 2021? But if you study the politicking and you study the temperature of what is happening, unsettled by abysmal leadership currently on offer by the political class, Nigerians earnestly look forward to a rescue mission at the 2023 general polls, and statesmen, groups, and even politicians are not left out of the anticipation, with some interesting permutations in the jostle for the next presidential candidate. But beyond primitive sentiments of ethnicity, religion, and the age gap, the primacy of noble character, commitment, capacity to building a country that is as rich as its diversity should not be an afterthought. And in reality, turning a broken nation into a hopeful one will require more committed leadership and citizens' engagement than Nigeria has ever had. And looking at that argument, after an initial argument over the zoning of the presidency, Nigeria seems to be facing the reality that the president of Nigeria from 2023 will be from the southern part of the country. And the ruling APC has zoned the chairmanship of the party to the north and the presidency to the south. The opposition People's Democratic Party has zoned the chairmanship of the party to the north, which is seen as a way that the presidency will be zoned to the south. Anyways, let's go straight to the conversation this morning. I will be bringing in my the panelist will be joining me very soon. But Nigerians in the early 2015, if you remember, rallied behind the APC and its change mantra to elect the President Muhammadu Buhari as a rebuke to the maladministration, in quote, of Goodluck Jonathan then and the People's Democratic Party. Anyways, just before I continue with this introduction and just a way of letting you know what we have, of course, the direction of the program this morning, let me bring in my panelist this morning on the program, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Chief Rafebu is a columnist and of course a journalist, also a public affairs analyst. Chief, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us on the platform on Flow FM.
It's always my pleasure. Always my pleasure.
Thank you very much. So much is being said. So much has been, so much permutations ongoing right now concerning the 2023 presidency. What the big question before we delve into the topic proper is it needed at this point in time? It is still 2021.
There is nothing wrong with starting early to either nonce or show ambition. I am expecting that there would have been a convention in this country where those who want to run should start even 6 years ahead. Let's know who you are. It's just because we don't have conventions, strong conventions that must be, everything should not be legalized. If we have strong conventions, supposing I want to be chairman, I would have displayed in my community, beginning from community leadership, shown some sample in local government affairs, perhaps go as a councillor. But here, we want to jump positions. You remember that in America, every one of us, I was covering international beat at the time, and I knew that Obama would be president. How? He started from community service, first scoring, going to a good school, is it Harvard, scoring very high, emerging as the president of the law department and head of the magazine, which is really Then he went into community service. From community service, he found himself in the Senate. Then he was given privileges to give what they call State of the Nation addresses, including as an ordinary man addressing the Democratic Convention. So if you have an eye, you say, this is a black man being prepared for an office. That is not where our problem is. Our problem is not in starting. If we are decent, if we adhere to the principles of democracy, starting early should be an advantage. It is advantage. It is disadvantageous to us because here our politics is mercantility, is business.
Okay,
it's not
Chief.
So we bring in all manner of attitude and unwanted.
You're subscribing to starting early, and you've revealed the advantages behind starting early. But some persons will see it as distraction to the incumbent in power and to the incumbent party in power. If some persons are starting early to show interest and also to come out and say I have interest when we are still battling with a present administration that is yet to even deliver some of the promises made rather during the campaign period.
Let me start this way. A man that will be distracted is the one that has no vision, because vision will engineer focus and passion. If I'm a governor and I know I would rehabilitate schools, so how would what is happening in the political party become a distraction to me? No way. So we tend to hold on shrubs when we are drowning, holding at water pools, floating on the river, thinking it's nothing like distraction. That is why they say you must elect capable people to run the political party. Not what we are doing. Imposition. Major parties cannot hold decent internal democracy in terms of marriage. Those should be the decision of the party with a chairman that is independent. But that's because we have adopted system. A governor will answer leader of the party. That shouldn't be. He should face governance. Why we go to the party and struggle? Party is to throw up credible and tested candidates that will present to the public for final endorsement for public office. Activities should be related to movements and political parties. But because we don't do things right, we have democracy without a democracy. So that is why you begin to talk about distraction. Otherwise, there is nothing distractive. The party should be doing their own, the people should be watching. Why those in public office should be doing their business and working for us. But both those in government and those in the party, none is working for us. That is where the confusion. So there's an atmosphere of heavy disenchantment. So we now mix up, this will distract. Let's learn to do. I insist. Every time I talk, anywhere I say, let's be addictive to following rules and good conscience. Everything must not be regulated. Every good conduct that will make your society work should not be a subject of regulation. Now look at common primaries. And I have said it, the foundation is in the way the parties are created. If birds of the same feather that should flock together, they will easily agree. They will understand. When it's time for primary, we say, okay, party chairman. And that is why, let me get out of this discussion and say, I want to congratulate you. Why I'm congratulating is that they allow sense and good judgment to return to their heads. Because this is what they would have done the first time. Electronic voting and then direct primary. Electronic voting, as you are voting, you post. In South Africa here, as elections are going on, the people are able to tune in. That is turned to whatever block, and you see how the results are tumbling in. Before even they make official pronouncement, you can say, Mr. Rafibu has won this election. As simple as that. But here we cloud everything. Business, in the end, we begin to cry. We don't know that it is our collective guilt that is on that whatever we are suffering. It is time the suffer should make us to wake up.
Okay,
we should wake
Chief.
up.
Let me move on to the next question. I'm sure you're a follower of events as far as these permutations are concerned, talking about the 2023 presidency. And if we look at some of the names, the notable names that have shown interest either by their moves or by their body language, one will be asking a number of Nigerian politicians that are being touted as messiahs that will take the country to promised land after the tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari. They are the same old folks. I will ensure that I do not mention names, but you understand what I'm saying, Chief. And one will be asking, the same old folks, are they the set of persons that will still continue ruling if perhaps any of them become the president in 2023 and beyond?
Wisdom is not by age. In my local government area of Okwa West, I hear young people say, Islam should retire. You know, I said, retire and give whom? Not me, they are not talking about me, but they tell the order. I said they should retire and live their democratic right. For who? If the man is healthy, if the man is sound intellectually, if he has a vision and is 90 and his energy can carry him, it is his inalienable, not even constitutionally guaranteed right, not only to associate, but to seek avenue to be useful and relevant to his society. Wisdom is not restricted because you are a youth. There are certain things some youths have done in my local government and I commend them. They now decided to go and buy form and even contest in the very contentious primaries of the 2 major or 3 major parties. And I gave them a text and I said, this is how to break through. If you have a vision, one of them spoke when they put him on. And I understand he spoke so well. He may not have won, but I told him you have made a mark. So it's about leadership recruitment process. It's not about zoning. There's nothing wrong with zoning, given where we are. Yesterday night, I tuned into a channel that showed me America. Everybody is concerned about placement of minority, of the blacks, and so on. There are times where you are, certain things will become expedient, not because they are absolutely necessary. Zoning has become a necessary evil. And as an Igbo man, it cannot be the turn of Igbo. They are beginning to talk merit. The time merit is good. We need merit, but zoning is not anti-zoning. They are, even in your family, they are very capable, well-trained mind. The root problem of Nigeria today is based on the leadership recruitment process.
Are you then ascribing that with the argument that merit should be allowed to play out so as to get the best candidate for the country in 2023?
Will also when you zone, because the presidency should come to the Southeast. When you zone, you allow the Southeast people through a decent, credible primary to choose, not a government. I don't support that. Not that somebody at the national level to impose. That is where the problem is. People looking for those with whom they can work in a conspiratorial arrangement. That is at the heart. Let them live first. Let the party go and say it is zoned to the east. They go and sit down and say, who are those who are interested? Then they come out, buy the form. And then the Nigerian people know they are good leaders. Take that from me. But that is not what is happening. What is happening is that we zone now. I zone to my local government. I say, Mrafi, I have been on the scene for 29. The little money to colonize the entire place. And the system should apply. The system. So you can see why I'm giving kudos to electronic voting. See why I'm giving kudos to direct primaries. Initially, it may not solve the problem, but gradually it will begin to evolve when the people realize that they have the power. The power is, I like merit, but there can be merit in zoning. Anywhere you zone it, allow the people to bring out their best. Not somebody who said, okay, I've just zoned it to South, like what they did. If you have given the opportunity to South people, Jonathan would not have been the candidate. I can bet on that. Obasanjo wasn't the candidate. A group of military people, after bastardizing the process, destroying our administrative architecture generally, creating states. And look, even some local governments were being wiped because I was married and I'm in the Supreme Military Council. I will give my wife local government. Nations are not built to that way, my brother. So the problem of zoning for now, which is expedient for now, I'm not saying the best, is that what we say is zoned to the south, is zoned to the southeast. Please let them allow the candidates to come out and let the party. Then the party people know. You say I'm talking idealistic. No. That is how decent people, decent society. Let's run a credible electoral process. If the good ones fail, we know they fail.
All right, Chief, I'm going to return to you. If you've just joined us and you're following the conversation, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. Still part of our morning show right here, the one we call Morning Spice. Of course, we deal with some issues and we bring analysts to help us dissect those issues so that you can have an idea and, of course, a better opinion molded, of course, in you. All right, let's move on, Chief. I have been speaking with Chief Rafebu. He's a journalist and also a columnist, public affairs analyst. We're looking at the 2023 presidency. What type of president Nigeria needs in 2023, looking at the 2023 presidency between the quota system and the zoning. Now, Chief, I want to take you back to the agitation from the youths. It's not only the southeast that's as a geopolitical zone that is agitating for the presidency to be zoned to the geopolitical zone, but the agitation by these people in the age bracket known as the youths is also very, very loud, looking at the NSAS protests from last year down to the memorial that held 2 days ago, and they are saying that some of them are saying that although their voices may not be loud, they are saying that we don't want the same old folks. But the question remains, are the youths ready? How do we look beyond the major political parties? Because as it stands now, it looks like we are partying two-party system in Nigeria, even though we have 18 political parties officially recognized by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Okay, I'll give you two answers. One may shock you a little. I will give you two answers. The question of the youth, why everybody wants to rush to politics when you talk of the youth, is because we that preceded them and those that preceded us, we bastardized the process, we bastardized the economy. We have made pursuit of career to look irrelevant. Otherwise, many of those you call NSA should be pursuing career in an elitist police that will look like the army, where the sons of the rich, well-trained will want to go. They should be farmers. We are talking of producing rice, but I've never seen. I've been to Abakaliki. I don't see mechanized farming. If you do mechanized farming, provide loans, provide schools, give them upfront, and recognize them in society and give them award, a lot of them would have gone into agriculture, and food security would have been secured. In places like Israel, in places like some of the European nations, you no longer beg to buy orange. Even on the street there, you will see taps, you will see coolers. You can take a glass of orange and you drink. That is because the farming department is going on. I look at Nigeria, I say you are giving Fadama that, Fadama this, but you have not asked how many people, subsistence farmers, they are wasting our money. That is why we are poor. So first is that I subscribe that youth must first be made to actualize their vision in different. Nigeria should be a productive economy. Then we come to politics. A few of them that are good should come in. Now in BBN, what do you call that BBN? This one that shows naked people.
The Big Brother Nigeria show.
Big Brother Nigeria that all of you like to watch. And you say you have right, absolute right. Absolute right kills. A society that is unproductive will find hedonism very interesting. Now, they said over 90 million Nigerian youths, men and women, Nigerian youths, that is what I read, I hope I'm correct, 90 million. Imagine where 90 million form the party and vote. Perhaps we'll get a new digital online person to drive the vision. I'm not against, I am beginning to think, yes, to some extent there should be some paradigm shift. Relying on the articles, relying on Buhari, relying on Obasanjo, relying on this is beginning to be a little obsolete. We need people that will speak like somebody said orator's. I said, keep quiet. I said, before you can be an orator, put your thoughts together, you must have some degree of intelligence. And of course, materials stored there. We need a Nigerian leader that can speak. We need a Nigerian leader that can carry a general vision that could be bought into by the generality of the citizen. So a paradigm shift could be desired. It is desired, but it will not come automatic. Imagine where that 90 NSAS, not disturbing the peace. Yes, it's good to protest. Imagine where they have done like Bakare. Everybody is criticizing Bakare, but I said the man can eat out of his invectiveness. What did he do? Now form a movement. that the incumbent government has achieved, they are no longer useful, and we will take over. And I said, that is what all of us, including me, right now, I've been looking for a group that I can join, and I take care of my area. It is about voting, since we're in a evolutionary process. Now, it is either they join the parties, and that's what I'm saying. The frustration has come because the process is even beginning from internal democracy. It's not there. If it's not there by now, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, some people, even among the youth, could have said, this is our party. And imagine where we go with electronic voting. And there's a candidate, a young, vibrant, well-trained candidate, some measure of exposure and experience. And he hustles across votes coming from across the states. Of course, Nigeria will buy it. So he could score more than 150 votes compared to what Buhari will used to win, 12 million.
Okay,
compared
Chief,
to what Jonathan will used to win, 15 million.
You've ruled out age as a factor that should determine this morning.
I didn't rule out age.
Okay.
I said it shouldn't be made like it's cast on the go.
Okay.
I didn't rule out age. I said age is important. In fact, any system where you mix the dynamism of the youth and the experience of the elders, things work very well. I didn't rule out, but I said let's not make it that it is the all be and all common solution. I want to know.
Fantastic. So, as it stands now, in your opinion, what type of president do you think Nigeria needs in 2023 to help us out some of the issues we're battling with, especially agitation from different quarters in the country?
He must be well educated. This one I will have people for certificate. I'm ashamed. You cannot have a president that is looking for primary certificate and you put him to rule a sophisticated Nigeria with over 450 tribes, most of them well educated. And you are talking of a world that is running here in automation. So you need a bit of a man of the modern world. I agree. That is the language I will use. It could be in mind, it could be in age, but he must be well educated to comprehensively. A good advisor is the one that can as it said, a prince must be able to comprehend good advice when he sees one. So you don't bring a leader that cannot comprehend or has no temperament for receiving advice. Then, but he must have a grand vision too. So you need somebody that is well read, you need somebody that is exposed, you need somebody that has a bit of activity there. Because there is politics. It's not just about democracy. You can have the democracy, you wouldn't know how to mend the various people and their temperament. If you rule a family or a village or community, you see what I'm talking. There will always be recalcitrant, deliberately deviant characters. So experience will teach you how to handle them. We need a leader that can now sit down and say, Nigeria, let's grab a vision. After the vision, then a leader that will say, henceforth, we have done enough with from henceforth. Perhaps I will usher Nigeria into the dialogue age. After that, he says, this is the vision. Then we will need capable men. From now, water system will go. Water system was an aberration. You don't abridge people gap because you want to raise others. You use affirmative action. If your people are backward in education, you create scholarship. You create more institutions in that area. And not to say this one will go into a university with 43 points, another one will score 300. That is why the country is weak. So let's have a president that is visionary,
interesting,
that is healthy, that can comprehend what the modern time is suggesting, that can come up with a program that will turn Nigeria not only giving people a sense of belonging, but one that will make Nigeria a productive economy. It is hard work. It's not a cheap
hard work.
I watch leaders go into office and get fat. A good leader that I'm talking about will go into office, he will be lean, his black hair will in 3 days turn white. Because he's thinking morning, afternoon, night. And he's in the field that will not fear the people. Because he will be a product of the people. So a little paradigm shift may be necessary, because you can find these features that I've said if you come down a little. So we need men that are read. We need men that know Nigeria, that have been with us.
Okay.
We need men that can see what is happening in Europe.
Just a moment.
If we can't create, we imitate.
Such paradigm shifts, like you mentioned, a ground reform, to say the least, are trademarks of respectable personalities that have sound character traits, credible, trustworthy, and consistent to be acceptable to the majority. But I have a big question. Credibility is the hallmark of leadership, fine, and trust is only earned I remember in the build-up to 1993 general elections, the big business mogul Moshood Abiola lived up to that standard to some extent and had requisite credibility that earned him the patronage and support of all ethnic groups. The question is, where are such personalities that can be acceptable to most Nigerians, irrespective of the age-long biases? Where are those Nigerians that enamored with indelible principles and integrity?
Well, for me, integrity comes last. It's vision and drive. Then good spirit. I'm not one of those who fear about integrity question. If you have a system that runs where a government will receive 10 billion in a month, and you say if agencies will give agencies 49 million to run, they say okay, we have received. So it's the act of secrecy. It's still the process. It is processes that will put sense into people. Because when you create a process of transparency, that's why people shout transparency. So when people talk integrity, I put it like vision first. So let people see why they should die. Do we have somebody that can change the rail system? Not this one building Lagos to Ibadan. In the last 22 years that we have run democracy, they are still between Lagos, and yet you are not satisfied. But Kenya there, without the manpower and money we have done more than that. Build the rail that entered the somebody that can build the roads. It's not a question of about changing our roads to 29 lanes. It's about the 4 lanes that we have. Can it be motorable? Oh yeah. The man have the drive to authoritatively and with value allocate resources, both human. These are first. Those ones will now provide credibility, because if you come into the line where things are moving and you want to be a cock, it will show. So can we find it? My own is yes. It's just that we're putting so much emphasis on money. Abiola, yes, but you forget that Abiola, even during his time, if you read his speeches, you see he had a vision. It was his vision and disposition that made Nigerians accept it. And I believe there are many of them. You want me to be named? There are so many of them. If the man went there and he said, well, Peter Obi looks genuine for whatever it is worth. He looks updated. There are other ones that are quiet. My view about the global society is this: if not for greed, it must not be rough. It must not be mean. I want to be governor, I love to be senator, but it must not be mean. If there are better people, we can bring them out and say the nation is in a national crisis. There are many Nigerians willing to help. All via them, all those guys. Somebody should be able to bring them and then put them at the disposal of Nigeria. What you need is about 3 heads, and this society is changed.
Interesting.
What are we looking for? I've told you, qualitative education that may not, in the mind of the conservative, be very expensive. A poor country should emphasize education. Then you take all area. Why would Nigeria, with the number of institutions we have, be looking for doctors in the 21st century? Why don't we create smaller schools, or not be this gigantic thing? Smaller school, well equipped, and you teach medical doctors surplus. Let them expect that we can take over in West African countries. They will be calling us like Cuba. Look at small Cuba going to Italy, going to certain places to help during the COVID-19. Look at their soldiers. Small country. America can't invade that country. What does it take? You don't go and carry illiteracy and put in the rack and fight. I was watching those speaking at the train station that was bombed yesterday. They were speaking negative, deep negative. One of the deep. I was let's mention it one time. I said, these ones, can they comprehend what we are talking in a system that is churning out school start holders with the division 1 or 8 days? My brother, just 5 8 years to recreate the society. And I want to tell you, in 10, 20 years, you see, it's just organization. Organize the road. Christmas time, you know that traffic should be on the road. In fact, all the time, you create road safety, you don't see them at the critical moment. They are hold on and so nobody is directing. So we need a young, I wouldn't say young, but somebody who has this vision and that can recruit others along the line and that is open-hearted. So if we can't find anyone, because for fear of coming to waste money, for fear that the electoral system will not throw up what it ought to throw, for fear. Because to be a leader in Nigeria now, they hire the stakes, they hire the risk. Now, those who are brilliant will tell you, what do I want there? Since I can, back in Nigeria, for instance, who wants to give electricity and you are not giving order, you tell him to come back to politics so that he can. He will tell you what else do I want? I can collaborate with international organizations and get my allowances and be flying over. So when they are there, if I'm a president, I can fish him out. There are many. I saw a doctor, I'm forgetting his name, doing heart surgery, bringing in people from abroad. And he was talking of how to build a hospital. Yeah, there are many people dying in the village, drinking herbs. And we are there looking at them as we don't know. So they are there. If we can't discover them, they are afraid. We go to them because we are down. We wouldn't wait if there is a civil war. Nigerian population is crossing from what I estimate is crossing 200 million. If it crosses with youth 40-70%, it's a recipe for war of for international war. I hope you know what is international war. War between brother and brother because hunger. If senior brother have money, 5 others don't have, they will shoot him.
All right.
It's a natural consequence. So you don't wait until you can no longer. Now you there, you are from Yoruba. I'm sure you cannot enter bus now. Your car. Don't try it with your fine car that you are going through a motion. You could be lost. Is it in Nigeria we want? So I get angry. Simple things we can do. So simple things. Let's get men. Few men. They are there. If they are not, if we can see, they said the Italians created their leaders. They said after the country we created Italy, we now have to create our own citizens. If we cannot get the ideal leader that will run on merit, run on vision, run on compassion, which is diminishing because of satanic impulse in the government, then we go and look for them. They are hiding because they don't want to die.
All right, Chief.
Give them positions and then give them targets and watch.
Right.
We have a lot of them we can do. The other person that came from Central Bank is begging you. He has been there more than spending his money. You are there shouting youth. Me, I'm here writing every day. What am I writing? When it's time we enter the field. We enter the field. We know those who can do things. We say, we insist. And that is what I tell my friends. I said, this talking. Wherever I want change, I step in and I step out.
Right.
If the youth are there, instead of going to disturb the peace every time, let them use it. Good. Protest is good. But let's do that. Let's take it to another level. Do what Bakere would have done.
All right.
Let's form a movement.
We need to wrap up this segment of the program. But Chief, I want to really appreciate you for your analysis this morning. Chief Rafebu, thank you very much for your in-depth analysis on the subject of discussion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, Chief Rafebu is a public affairs commentator, a columnist, and of course, with in-depth knowledge in the topic of discussion this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. I'm going to be throwing the lines open right now. What do you make of his analysis first? And of course, what type of president does the country needs in 2023? That's the big question we're asking this morning. And looking at the 2023 presidential election, those that have been touted as Nigeria's next messiahs, what do you make of them? And also 2023 election, presidential election between quota system and zoning. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Also joining in the conversation this morning by dropping your messages on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Flow949FM. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah. My name is Kenneth calling from Mota.
All right, Kenneth.
Yeah, I want to really commend on my.
Can you speak up so that we can hear you clearly? Thank you.
I want to really thank my honorable journalist who was speaking over the phone. He was actually making a lot of sense. It is time for the youth to join some political parties, make their intentions. It's not just about protest. It's about being in the system. So by the time we are sidelined from the system, we still see these people keep recycling themselves in the corridors of power. And secondly, the issue of 2023 presidency, Nigeria needs a proactive, young and vibrant person to take the helm of this nation to the next level. We have suffered. Nigeria has suffered. We need somebody that, well lettered, had experience exposed in every ramifications of life, in every facet of reading. We have gone past the bad ages where you see who will come out. Let me not just say it. It's quite appalling that someone taking care of the whole nation after having some issues with the certificate and so on and so forth. This time will rise up and good people that are later. Thank you this morning. That's
all right, Kenneth. Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
I'm Steven from Bayelsa.
Thank you very much for joining us all the way from Bayelsa. All right.
Yes. Please, I am very happy for the topic of the day today, and the speaker speaks so in fact, so heartily to my heart. And what I want to suggest is, please, in 2023, I have run around some states in Nigeria, and I have not seen somebody like Wike and Lagos State Governor in terms of development and how to handle security issues. In fact, please, I will suggest we should bring up young men into the presidency as youth that can be able to face these nonsense security challenges that we are facing, and also in terms of agriculture. We don't need to think anything than agriculture and security. If man is sleeping well in the night and how to do his business very well and he can feed well, I think the mindset of negativity will be off. But when so-called old men in our nation, so-called, I can say so-called, primitive old men, forcing youth to become our leader, they are looking for another thing on earth. It is a privilege, anybody can become a leader. But for this generation now, what I'm seeing, we don't need anybody more than 50 years or 50 years of age to rule us. There needs to be a peace.
All right.
So please.
All right. Thank you.
Old men should mind how they can handle their families very well, not to come to the public and suffering people.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us all the way from Bayelsa State. Hello, good morning to you. Keep your calls coming. We have messages on Facebook page also. Chinedu Okafo says, good morning, Mike. Talking about 2023 leadership permutations in the various political parties in Nigeria. Unfortunately, our political leaders in the southeast are not doing enough to grab power. Up till now, none of them has shown a strong interest nor speak out tenacious on zoning the presidential ticket of the various parties to the southeast. Check out Tinubu from the west, Atiku from the north, and none from the southeast. Please, our prominent political leaders in the southeast should declare their interest. Don't wait for anyone to do it for you. Igbo presidency all the way. That's coming from Chinedu Okafo. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
I am Pastor Sandy Telemach. I'm calling you from Omogrongo.
You're welcome, Pastor.
Thank you. Yes, I agree with what you said. But yeah, I disagree with him when he was talking about education. Yes, education is good. But the end thing here is wisdom. The Bible says that in all things that we should seek wisdom. Any man that has wisdom can be able to rule even the entire world. If we get education without wisdom, it will not work. So wisdom is the end thing, because in the Bible, Solomon seeks for wisdom, not even education. And that's the reason why God has to bless him. God has to prosper him. Even up to today, there has never been any man that is like Solomon in terms of wisdom. So I think whether you are able to or adult, seek wisdom. Because Nigeria is a light country. With education, no one can rule Nigeria without wisdom. With wisdom, whether 20 years man, 100 years man can rule the entire Nigeria and excellently and come out with flying colors. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us also. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Beautiful this morning, Mr. Mike Rooney.
You're welcome. Good morning.
I'm speaking guy for calling from Iguana.
All right.
Yeah, the word spoken and the word said by the parliamentarian who have spoken on this parliament this morning. Yes, this time around, this is not time to emphasize on issues. We need a visionary leader Yeah, the question is this. If we now have 11 players that is playing in the field of play, especially in this political field of play, and they keep on now depending on that 11 player, will they now achieve what we want? That's the question. This is time for them to go in. We have them outside. We have a lot of people that is in that political arena. Let them just get the room. Let them allow people who can come in, who can deliver suitable ones, who can fit to the task. This is not time for ethnic religious matter, not the issue of tribe, not the issue of political issue. Allow the people who can now go in and deliver. Bring that what we need. That's the evidence of democracy. Forgetting about what you are playing or what you have served for. But people are now have been appointed based on they have now served their organ, served their master, and then they will now give them the appointment. So this is what we need now: a visionary leader, one who are well-learned, one who knows exactly what they are doing, what is being called for. Then, lastly, I want to say this: this issue of political issue, partisan, should be removed if we want to deliver this country. If our leaders want to deliver this country, they should put aside every issue of a party. They should stop constant issue. Then allow people to come in. They can deliver and have a better Nigeria to say, this is our country.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, my girl.
Good morning to you. Good morning. You're welcome, Lawman.
Yeah. See, based on the question you just asked, I listened to rap and you spoke very well. See, we don't need a military man as the president in this country. That military mentality will still make him not to be tolerant, not to be human, not to accept other people's view. And that is the problem with this country. Because there is no way you will tell me that a government that is leading people and then saying that I'm leading these people right will not listen to agitations. What is the problem with my children? Let us sit in a round table and solve this problem.
Just a moment. Let me ask you a question. If you say we do not need a military man, just to widen your analysis also, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was a military man before he became a civilian president in 1999. So is there a difference there, or should we just rule out, according to your analysis, should we just rule out all ex-military men from becoming president? Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, you see, let me tell you about President Olusegun Obasanjo. You see that man? He's a military man, but his own way. You remember I said tolerance. You can be a military man and you cannot tolerate. And Obasanjo tolerated a lot of things. And you see, Obasanjo, there was a time for Atari Dokubo. Atari Dokubo was flown to Abuja because he was tolerant. But yes, our president, from the time I knew him, as a military head of state, you know the year come just one way. That is one problem with our president. He's a good man, but one problem with him is that military mentality has made him not to be tolerant again. But Obasanjo was just a little bit different. There was a time Obasanjo showed up his military of doing things, but you cannot use him to compare with the present president. So what I'm just saying is that, please, our president be tolerant.
All right, thank you.
They are not supposed to people. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM. You're welcome.
God bless you.
Amen.
Ekaro. I'm Chris, Pastor Chris from Ayazun.
You're welcome, Pastor Chris.
Mike, I want to tell you something. I don't know how old you are. I grew up in Lagos. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go on, please.
Yeah, I grew up in Lagos, but now in my village because I'm aging. What is happening in Nigeria now is well-planned program. And that is why Obasanjo was brought in from prison That is why Abiola was killed, and now he's manifesting.
So what type of president does the country need in 2023?
Somebody that will unite Nigeria. Somebody that will be able to bring Nigeria together. Somebody who will be able to know that after everything, every person, you and me, must answer for what we have done. And that is it.
Okay, with the list, just before I let you go, Mr. Chris, with the list of politicians touting themselves, of course, coming out with their body language, have you seen anyone, according to your analysis, according to what you want?
I have not seen any one of them that can be able to do it. They are coming out because of their belly and their family, and that is all. The only person I know that did well, Peter Obi, if Peter Obi comes out, people will know that something is going to happen and they will vote for him.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Do appreciate your contribution. On the SMS line, Victor J from Umahia says, good morning, please. I am not afraid to or shy to mention names. Let Ngozi well come up. Nigerians will vote for her. All right. Good morning, presenter. I think the youths should be concerned in developing their career. The success they have in their career will position them for leadership. That's coming from Mr. Ima. All right. Kanu Uzomba from Quota says, I score Rafibu 100% in his analysis. Let us be hearers and doers also. Let me run through more messages on the Facebook page just before I step out of the studio this morning on the platform on Flow FM. Also, Francis Namani from Enugu, Amanguze, all the way from Enugu State says, zoning or no zoning, what Nigerians need most is total restructuring of this country, good governance, and an enabling environment for the citizenry. Thanks and God bless. Let me take one for the road before I step out. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Michael Oni.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Chinedu.
You're welcome, Mr. Chinedu. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. The issue on 2023, who Nigeria needs as a president. We have the likes of Professor Bat Nnaji. We have the likes of P2B. We have the likes of Professor Charles Soludo, Moralo. You know, these are young men who are vibrant enough that understand what Nigeria needs. I just took my time some time ago on the first person I mentioned, Professor Bat Nnaji, when he was the minister in charge of power in this country. We all knew his impact. We all felt it. As a matter of fact, he owned one of the largest power company in Nigeria, but it's just on the ground. You know what to do. These are people we have here in Southeast that can take Nigeria to the next level. Listen, time has gone when Nigeria needs politicians. We don't need politicians any longer. We need people that will administer, that will run this country administratively. Bring what we need. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We do appreciate you. We need to step out of the studio already. The conversation continues later on this evening on the State of the Nation at 8:30 p.m. on Flow 94.9 FM. Thank you very much for joining, of course, the last edition of the program for the week, the State of the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. I do appreciate you, and many thanks to my producer Samson Eze and Uyaya Basi Jimmy, who is passing out today as a core member. Congratulations to her. Thank you very much for joining us on the platform today, and also the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. My name is Michael Oni. Do enjoy the rest of your day.